For those just joining us, we just finished our Pledge of Allegiance, so don't think that we forgot that. But we are joined tonight not by Carla Bittner, but by Jordan, who is attorney in place tonight. Welcome to our family.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And let us go to the minutes first here. Can I get a motion that the minutes of the June 8th, 2026 meeting be approved?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Price Bush. Okay. Trustee Dunkelbarger, discussion. Paul, it's like you're far away tonight. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I get a motion that the minutes of the June 15th, 2026 special meeting be approved.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Dubuque? Trustee Fondanza, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Charlene, good to have you back for a regular meeting this go around. You look great. How you feeling?
Oh, okay. I'm here.
So am I. So let's move on to presentations. We're all here.
Well, first, just thanks for holding down the fort the last month. I appreciate everyone filling in for me.
No problem. Let's go to presentations. Norabelle Greenberger's here from Lobella Associates to talk about the Ballston Spot grant support post-BOA work. And if she'd like to take, microphone's already on for you, Norabelle, so go right ahead.
Okay. Thanks, everyone, for having me here tonight. As the mayor mentioned, my name is Norabelle Greenberger. I'm a planner with Lobella Associates. We were lucky enough to work with the village for the past year and a half on the revitalized B-Spa plan, which was wrapped up in early spring. That plan was funded through the Department of State's Brownfield Opportunity Area program and was submitted to the state in early April for designation, which opens up a lot of opportunities. And so that's a little bit about what I want to talk to the board about tonight. We really try to pride ourselves in not just creating a plan and leaving a community and having that sit on the shelf. So I wanted to talk about how the village could advance some of the priorities that were identified in the plan and some of the funding opportunities this year. I had shared back in late April a proposal that outlined a couple of different grant opportunities. It was really intended to serve as a menu of options of different things for the village to consider. So just to walk through those different items. One of the recommendations in the revitalized B-Spa plan was for the village to pursue pro-housing certification through the state. That program is something that's been a big priority of the governor, and it's a really critical piece in order to access a lot of funding programs. If you know of the DRI and New York Forward program, for example, you can only apply for those funds if you're a pro-housing community. Similarly, programs like New York Main Street or some of the Empire State Development programs are only open to designated pro-housing communities. So we have in here a proposal to assist the village if the village is interested in getting that certification. It requires compiling the past 5 years of all planning board actions and all building permits that increased or decreased the housing supply, as well as providing a summary of all of the zoning districts in the village. From there, it goes to New York State Homes and Community Renewal for review, and the only requirement by being a pro-housing community is that every year you give the state an update on any changes to your housing supply that have happened in the past year. So typically they'll request that around June of the following year. Other grant applications that we've identified in here, one is New York Forward. I know the village went after New York Forward, I think it was in the first round of the program, and Bernadette took the lead in preparing that application. It was a great foundation. What we're seeing now is after wrapping up the revitalized B-Spa plan, the state loves to see how that planning process can then lead to New York Forward or DRI funding. They haven't announced the next round. This will be the 5th round of the New York Forward program and 10th round of the DRI program. But we expect that to be announced in August with applications due in September. There is actually a webinar that the Empire State Development is hosting on Wednesday morning about how to prepare. I'll be on the webinar with my colleague Devin talking about how to make a successful application. But it's really important for communities to start thinking now rather than waiting to August, because what goes into these applications is pretty extensive. As Bernadette, you're probably well aware, having worked on that one previously. You know, there's public engagement, there's working with property owners, a lot of moving pieces to make a successful successful application.
Norvell, what's the timing for pro housing in terms of getting that done so that we're prepared if we wanted to move forward, or do we have to wait for next year, do you think, for the airport?
There's not been a consistent timeframe of how long HCR has taken to review the materials once submitted. I've seen as quickly as a week to more like a couple of months. I think earlier in the process, the state was just wanting communities to get pro housing certified, and now it seems like it's taking a little bit longer in their review. That being said, in previous rounds, and I can't say what this round's going to be, as long as you had submitted your letter of intent and had started that process, you could be eligible to access the DRI New York Forward funding.
Thank you.
Other couple of grants to highlight. Since we submitted this proposal back in late April, the state's actually released their resource manual and announcement of the different consolidated funding application grant programs. And there's a couple that are worth calling out. The first is New York Main Street Technical Assistance. I think there's been some conversations in the village about New York Main Street, potentially for a private property owner that was looking to go after those funds. One specific program as part of New York Main Street is their technical assistance program. That is a great option if property owners just don't have, like they have an idea but haven't developed architectural plans or cost estimates for ways to improve their properties, whether that's converting vacant upper floors into residential, facade improvements. All of that could be funded through a technical assistance grant. Those grants are up to $20,000 and cover 95% of the project costs. Another grant program that's also through the CFA, so these are grants that are due July 31st, is the BOA pre-development program. This is specifically a program that only designated BOA communities can access. So one of the real benefits of going through the revitalized VSPA BOA planning process. I've outlined a couple of different recommendations from the plan that could be covered through that grant program that goes up to $400,000 and covers 90% of project costs. One that I think came up a lot in conversations and could be a good option is a capital improvement plan. We kept hearing about needing to understand water and sewer needs and kind of creating that kind of prioritized list of improvements to make in the village to infrastructure. That's an example of a type of eligible cost, since that's addressing some of these key hurdles to development. Things can be done like marketing, key sites. You could also use this funding for engineering. You know, we talked a lot about the intersection heading out on Route 50 and kind of multiple roads coming in there and can be a little bit difficult. I know the village is going forward with a CRTC funded plan, but this could allow you to do kind of deeper dive engineering and advance that to a shovel-ready project as another example. And then lastly, and then I will stop talking because I know this is a lot of information, one other program or grant program that came up, not necessarily in the BOA planning process, but in other conversations, is Village Hall and the fact that it's not ADA accessible. The Community Development Block Grant Program is a program that is great for upgrading public buildings to address accessibility needs. That program they have a couple of different categories. There's infrastructure, there's public facilities, there's also a planning program, which could be a really good option for the village. Because my understanding is you haven't done the design and engineering for any sort of building upgrades. That could fund up to 100% of the cost, up to a maximum of $50,000 to do the planning phase for potential future accessibility upgrades.
Does that put you in a position to get even more money later on when you actually do the work?
Yes, yeah, so it gets you to that point of readiness to then access the funds, and that's really kind of how they set up the program. And that's a rolling application, so you submit a pre-application, and then applications just need to be submitted before the end of the year.
Board, any questions?
Where can we find, you said you had more information on all of these or the pro housing?
Yeah, I'm happy to share. So the New York State on the CFA resources, they have information on all the grants that are due July 31st. Information on pro housing is on New York State Homes and Community Renewals website. I'm happy to share some links to distribute to the board after this as well.
Thank you, it's very helpful.
Paul, anything on your end? Mary?
No, there's a lot of great grants available though.
Absolutely. Bernadette?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
First off, Norwell's been really a great resource for the village. I don't know what exact next steps are, but I'd like us to consider what we can do this year and.
I think the pro-housing situation
definitely.
probably is a gimme at this point because it opens up the other doors, and maybe even looking at the planning for the block grant scenario that you talked about for Village Hall wouldn't be a horrible idea either.
Okay.
Since, is that federal? Yeah, so it's not going to interfere necessarily with the New York Forward scenarios.
Yeah, but we have to, well, if they're doing the webinars, so to me that means they're gonna do New York Forward.
Yeah.
So I would like us to consider it as well. Especially since we did do the BOA, so I don't know if we should.
Are you using your phone?
No. I don't know. It's just, the clip's not working.
But at least, turn it on. You're fine. Green?
Yeah. All right, so sorry, everyone. What I was saying, Norabelle has been really helpful to the village. I think we really, to Frank's point, we look at the block grant for our municipal building. But considering it sounds like they are moving forward with New York Forward webinars, I would really like to get us geared up and ready to have an application this year. So I don't know if we do it this meeting or next meeting to potentially do a motion. I don't know what the thought is exactly.
I think right now we would probably need a proposal from Norabelle to help us figure out what the cost would be to have Labella engage that with us.
Those items.
Yeah, so if you could get specific with it for our next meeting in terms of what the goals would be for pro housing and New York Forward and block grant, I think are the three that I see a straw poll consensus with head nods going on here. So why don't we go in that direction, and then also if you want to fill in the blanks with some of the other things you were talking about, just to provide the information and links, that'd be great. But I think that's a lot to bite off for us right now.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So would you, because this has costs for each of those, but some of the other items as well, do you just want a revised version of this that only has those 3 items in it?
I think so. That way we can approve it freestanding at that point.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Anything else from the board?
No.
Norabelle, thank you for everything you do.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate all your work on BOA, and now we're keeping you around. So
Sounds good. Appreciate it. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
We have 2 walk-ons tonight. One is actually a continuation from last time with the Bulldog fire truck motion. The fire truck motion is going to basically be to authorize the agreement between Bulldog and the Village of Ballston Spa and to permit the mayor to execute it. There's one glitch that we do have to iron out, and it's just to make sure that it is being done through proper procurement in terms of state contract. That's still not verified. So I'll put that caveat on there, and it is contingent with respect to the referendum, permissive referendum question, and the ability to do the borrowing for the $800,000 plus from the meeting of the 27th, I think that was, or 26th, excuse me, May 26th. Resolution we did. So that will be that. Carla was out and about today with her daughter, so I wasn't able to nail down exactly how we can get past that with respect to state contract pricing or not, or how it would work in a pre-build in this type of situation. So I just want to clarify that before I would sign it, but as long as we get an approval tonight, I would be able to sign it once we get past that hurdle. Second is to hire for summer help, and the last name's going to throw me, Rainier. Is it? What's the last name? When do you should have that?
Hold on.
Rainier is looking to do some summer work with the office for, it's a walk-in, says he's not on here, I don't think. Is he on there? Buckley? Does that sound right? Thank you. So anyway, looking to do summer work for us, probably in the 15-hour, 20-hour week zone at $18 an hour. So there'll be a vote on that, or a motion for that as well requested. So those are the walk-ons. Now, having said that, we have presentations, are done. Public comment is what I want to say on agenda items only, 3 minutes per speaker. Who would like to speak? If you're on Zoom, now would be the time to raise your hand for those agenda items only. Seeing none, and seeing none, let's move. Consent agenda, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda items? Unless somebody, I should ask, does anybody want to remove either one? Hearing nothing, can I get a motion to approve them?
Motion.
Trustee Fondainza?
I'll second.
Trustee Price Bush, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion approving Saratoga County's closure of McMaster Street from 5:20 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. on July 8th, 2026 for their Saratoga 250 ceremony outside of Building 1 in the Veteran Memorial area, beginning at 5:30 p.m. and approving the event and cannon firing as part of the event?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second. She's the history one.
Trustee Dubuque and Trustee Fondainza, all blended. I could have been anywhere. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now, before I get to this next motion, I do want to state that over the last couple weeks, Paul Dunkelbarger and I had done some interviews with the Ethics Board nominees coming up, except Pete Martin, who was just a renewal, but the new potential members of the Ethics Board. And, we appreciate the time that everybody took out. I appreciate Paul's time because he had to spend the excessive amount of time with me, and I mean that alone. But as required by the code, we did do the mayor and a trustee in each interview, and took the interview seriously. Paul had some tremendous questions he had prepared, and I fired away the best I could as well. So thanks to him. And one of the things we did talk about with respect to the board is taking another hard look at the code, up front to begin to figure out, where it can be improved. I think this is something that Julie and I were talking about a year and a half ago on looking at a little bit, but obviously certain things got in the works coming up a little bit. And then she is now our judge. So it would be good to get fresh perspective and see what the next life of the ethics code should look like down the line. So that'll be one thing. They'll have to get together also to name their own chair. That's in the code for them to name their chair. And we did our best here to figure out the right way to distribute how the terms should work. And that's baked into the motions coming up. I think that's all I got for you with respect to that. So let's go to B. Can I get a motion that Peter Martin be renewed as a member of the Village of Ballston Spa Ethics Board for a term to expire no earlier than December 31st, 2029. For clarity, this term is intended to be considered one of the 4-year terms of the 2 allowed pursuant to the Ethics Code's term limits.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Dubuque.
Second.
Trustee Dunkelbarger, discussion.
I'm accusing myself.
I'm shocked. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion that Ellen Matola be appointed as a member of the Village of Ballston Spa Ethics Board for a term to expire no earlier than December 31st, 2028?
I make the motion.
Trustee Fondainza.
I'll second.
Trustee Price Bush, discussion.
Ellen is excellent. She served this community very well for many years.
Absolutely.
So
I second that too.
I thank her for doing this.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion that Monique Cohen be appointed as a member of the Village of Ballston Spa Ethics Board for a term to expire no earlier than December 31st, 2027?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Price Bush.
Second.
Trustee Dunkelbarger, discussion.
She's gonna be great.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a little rumor that she might be willing to be the chair, so at least we've had somebody willing to be a chair. I can come away with that here. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion that Anthony Manella be appointed as a member of the Village of Ballston Spa Ethics Board for a term to expire no earlier than December 31st, 2027?
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Dubuque?
I'll second.
Trustee Fondainza, discussion. He's here, and good to see him over there. So thanks for doing this, Tony. And all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion that Donald Traver be appointed as a member of the Village of Ballston Spa Ethics Board for a term to expire no earlier than December 31st, 2026?
I'll make
The motion.
Trustee Fondainza?
I'll second.
Trustee Price Bush, discussion. Don's done exemplary work for us in a variety of manners for the village, so we appreciate him stepping up for this as well. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion approving the hiring of Rainier Buckley as a summer assistant to the clerks for a a wage of $18 per hour for 15 to 20 hours per week.
Make a motion.
Trustee Fondainza,
I'll second.
Trustee Price Bush, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion approving the execution of the contract between Bulldog and the Village of Ballston Spa related to the 14-1 pumper truck under consideration for purchase, and authorizing the mayor to execute the contract contingent on the finalization of procurement, and this is contingent, the purchase, on the approval of a referendum or the lack of need for a referendum for that debt incurrence.
I'll make that motion.
Trustee Fontaine, thank you, sorry.
Hang on all your words.
Yeah, that's great. And
I'll second.
Trustee Price Bush, discussion. It makes sense what I did say earlier, though, about that whole thing. We just want to make sure we got procurement hammered away correctly for the last thing that Carla had talked about today in the correspondence, and I couldn't really bug her too much today because she's, got a college visit with the daughter, and you got to respect that today. But I think that was kind of where you were left with it too, Jordan?
That was my understanding too, is that procurement needed to be followed for state law.
Okay, so we'll just make sure that we get that final detail from Bulldog itself. And I know our chiefs are here, so we'll get that squared away hopefully tomorrow. We could do that, and as long as we get that.
We have other quotes that are all eyes.
Okay, then as long as you send those through, we validate it, I'll put my name on the bottom line, as they say. You got it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mayor's announcements. I've said way too much over the last week on Facebook and everything else. I'm going to kind of just go for a dry pass on this, beyond saying great to have Charlene back and the full board at full power here. And we got a lot of things coming up, so just fasten your seatbelts. I'll do the treasurer's report here. Saratoga County sales tax, June sales tax receipts were $15 million, which was 7.83% higher than June of last year. Remember, these are always delayed by a couple of months. Year to date, March to June, are up by just over 9%, and we are up 6% for the amount we're about to get for June. One thing I will point out to everybody as a reminder, that is right around the time that the Iranian conflict began and oil prices and gas prices shot up. So a lot of the sales tax benefit we're seeing may be actually from that, may not be a signal of great, general economic activity. So as things hopefully wind down in the Middle East and prices come back down, we may see the ebb and flow go on there. But, it's encouraging, at least for our bottom line, to see some numbers like that. Just, you don't want to see it caused by that necessarily, obviously. Tax payments have been coming in. We're over $418,000 as of this writing, and they've been keeping up very well, I'd say, with the accounts, with all of our additional help. And Mary Beth's out front learning how to take those tax payments and everything else, so great job by everybody. Remember that any tax payments not received by July 1st will have a penalty applied on July 2nd. Water and sewer meter readings are due by the 30th, and that is to avoid a meter non-read fee. Water bills will be mailed out on August 1st. Year-end fiscal year 2026, we're working with LGSS on closing that fiscal year. Usually it takes us till about October to finalize, scour the books with them, and go through what they'll need for our, what is the AFR now they call it. We want to keep doing AUD from the old days, but the AFR. So I'll look for that over the next few months to be completed. Pool operations, we're using Clover again as credit card and check payment. And swimming lesson signups are Saturday, June 20th and Sunday, June 21st. So those are just over with. If anyone missed the sign up though, please visit the village pool, speak to Kay Garis, and see if there are any openings. Once again, hoping for a sunny, fun place for our village residents to come cool off this summer. And the village office, our 2 new deputies are definitely making a huge difference, as I pointed out. And we appreciate them as well. Let's go to liaison reports, and Bernadette, go ahead.
Just briefly for the Business Association, the farmers market is open Saturdays from 9 to 1. It's had a good start. There's a lot of good food options. I highly recommend empanadas that are there. But, make sure you guys stop by, just because not all the produce is out there, but there's still vendors to check out. Concerts are starting. The concert's on Thursday. It's starting on July 2nd. It'll be the community band, and that starts at 6 o'clock to 8. And the movies in the park is July 3rd with National Treasure to honor the birthday of the country. So, and it's a fun movie for family friendly. So that's all I've got for now.
Sounds good. Mary, if your microphone's on, go for it.
It is. Okay. Family Fun Day, August 16th. We'll keep reminding you for anyone who wants to be a vendor or a volunteer. You can call Gina if you're interested, Gina Morosi, and her number is 518-421-0160. The library, Wednesday, June 24th, from 3:30 until 4:30, their afternoon book discussion in the reading room will be Island of Missing Trees by Alif Shahak. I didn't know how to pronounce it, and I Googled it, and it sounded obscene, so I'm trying to make it not sound obscene. Anyway, the Summer Reading Club sign-up will be held Friday, June 26th from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m., and the book club runs from June 26th through July 28th. That's it.
Of all people, Mary.
I looked at the British pronunciation, and that was more tame, but I'm not good at.
You should have said it in a British accent. I feel like we project.
Your turn, Charlene. If you want to go in a British accent, go right ahead.
No, we're not going to do that. The Historic District Commission will meet June 30th at 7 p.m. at East High Street. The Committee on the Arts will meet July 8th at 7 p.m. right here in the library. And Caitlin sent me a report. The Village of Ballston Spa Park and Tree Board would like to thank you, Village Board, for getting together for a special meeting last week, making it possible for us to apply for the New York Place grant to hopefully help us update the Creekside Playground at Kelly Park. As we move toward this goal, we look forward to hearing from residents regarding improvements in Kelly Park. Park and Tree Board is also excited about everyone who signed up for Bee Spot and Bloom and has been admiring the floral arrangements throughout our business district. Thank you all who chose to participate. If you haven't signed up yet, it's not too late. You can find a link to sign up on the Village of Ballston Spa Park and Tree Board Facebook page. It is almost summer, which means it is peak park season. We want everyone to be sure to check out all of the wonderful events taking place in our village parks. The farmers market is every Saturday, so we're going to get 2 plugs here. The farmers market is every Saturday morning and Thursday afternoon in Wiswell Park. And don't forget the summer concert series on Thursdays at Old Iron Spring starting in July. And the next Park and Tree meeting is Tuesday, July 21st at 7 p.m. in the Cornell Cooperative Conference Room. And that's it.
One thing I'll point out, I talked to Andy Champagne yesterday, actually, on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day belatedly to everybody out there. And he's looking to start the Tedisco Trail Stairs probably in the next few weeks. And might coincide perfectly for the ice cream social, which Jim Tedisco often comes out for. So maybe doing a ribbon cutting rededication approach once that is all done, because obviously that has been a long-term project that we have been wanting to do and finally are doing. So I'll keep you posted on that as Andy's able to get that work done as well. Paul.
DPW, the pool is up and running. They fixed a leak in the pool and replaced an impeller on one of the main pumps. They're working on striping crosswalks and parking spaces, sidewalk repair along Milton Avenue resulting from tree damage. They're reading the commercial water meters, and they've finalized it, or they have a tentative list for paving this year. Preliminary repair of catch basin, manholes, valve boxes, and ADA ramp work would start immediately. Actual paving would happen in mid-September. Got 11 streets that they're going to do this year, consistent with their 11-year plan.
Do you want to read them off? I have them if you don't.
Eastern Avenue, Chester Street, Pleasant Street, Fairground Avenue, Ford Street, west of Milton Avenue, the Klondike Alley, Minuteman Street, Union Street, east of Doubleday Avenue, Van Buren Street, east of Milton Avenue, the Malta Avenue parking lot, and Heritage Place is the last one, and that would be cut in the event that the price of blacktop goes up too much between now and then.
I think we'll find a way to get that done no matter what, but we'll see where it goes. But
they're estimating they need 4,500 tons of blacktop.
Yep. It's a lot of blacktop, yep, for sure. Okay, thanks everybody for that. No old business or new business unless somebody has some late breaking stuff they want to put onto there. If not, then public comment on any issue. And again, if you are on Zoom, this would be a time to raise your hand if you'd like to speak. And Liz would like to speak.
Liz Cormos, 89 Hyde. Just briefly on sidewalk repair, does the board plan on enforcing sidewalk repair along with the paving schedule this year? Because that's been talked about for the last couple of years and hasn't happened. So I believe the mayor is planning on the new loan program. I'd like to see that actually happen. My second comment is on the recent RFP that the county put out to basically locate 20 of their 30 departments in a central location, which may be in the village, but also could be in the town of Milton, Malta, or Ballston Spas, I believe the RFP says. As somebody who has answered a lot of RFP in my career and written a lot of RFP, I did get a copy of this RFP and did not find it particularly detailed, which I don't know, but indicates to me potentially they may have already decided where to go and this is just a formality. I don't know, have no inside information, but that's what it appears to me. Key questions. Does the county intend to keep Ballston Spa as the county seat? Yes, they have to go out for a referendum if they move certain departments out of the village, but that's a referendum on the whole county. They market that, say this is better for us, etc. They probably will win. I mean, we're only 5,500 people that don't want that to happen. So I think the village deserves the answer. Is their intention to keep the county seat here, even if they do move 20 of 30 departments out? And also, which departments, approximately 10, if I read their information correctly, are they keeping here? Are they keeping some of the departments that are here now? Because this could be a major turning point in the village and could have devastating effects on our businesses, our small businesses, because, you know, I estimate there are at least 500 employees of the county in the village now. And if those folks leave, their business leaves. So that's all my comments.
Thank you. Anybody else? Or if it's just a quick question, you can sit there. I'm not going to do that to you.
It's about the paving of the parking lot on Malta Avenue.
Right.
Ellie Dillon, 116 Malta Avenue. Is that going to include the fire lane that goes up behind the buildings? I'm at the museum and we have a parking lot,
Yep.
which obviously isn't the Malta Avenue parking lot, but the fire lane behind our building is potholing. And I was wondering if that would be included in the.
We'll have to find out, to be honest with you,
I
Ellie.
honestly don't know.
Yeah, it's a question of control of property
So
ownership.
who would I call?
You're calling the right folk,
We'll find out.
but we've got to find out for you because Scott probably knows who owns that per se.
Well, there's been a repair very graciously done a few years ago, but it needs a little bit of.
That might be what's actually prompting this to be done for all I know. So let's get you a reserved, response on that, and I will reach out to you. How's that?
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Anybody else? See none? Let's go to other business, including but not limited to board response to public comment. Paul, always in the first driver's seat there.
Since comments were limited, I have no response.
Charlene.
My response, I guess, I would just like to take a second to thank the community. It's been a crazy month, and
Don't know what you mean.
I really saw like the best of, our village of friends and beyond. I want to stop just at Ballston Spa, but going from one day, walking around, then being told you have to get surgery for a brain tumor. It all happened so fast. But at first I don't know if I was taking it as seriously, but once I saw the community just jump in and be there for our family in a time of need, everything from fundraisers to meals to just even small things like here's a card or, dropping me a message. And then everything the board has done too in the meantime. So I'd just like to thank everyone. Sometimes, there's a lot of negativity, and it can be hard to lose sight of all of the good that this community has and is, and I'm personally grateful and very humbled by it all. Thank you.
And like I said, you look phenomenal. I mean, for somebody that's been through what you've been through.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm looking forward to looking a little bit better. So thank you.
Mary.
I want to welcome Charlene back, and I'm very impressed with your spirit and your positive attitude, and we miss that. So welcome back.
Thank you.
Bernadette.
I'm happy you're back.
And I'll close out here with a few things. First, with respect to the county, I've said my piece generally on the post I put up. I think the board all saw that last week. But I, as I was talking to Bernadette, I think we're probably going to lean towards sending around, while we don't control the land, a proposal in general to keep the county in the Village of Ballston spot. Yes, we don't control the situation, but also I think we should let the referendum voters, if it comes to that ever, know there is an option available here. And so work on that over the next couple of weeks and keep you posted and see what we think on submitting something like that. But there's that. Second, let's see here. Want to thank my sister for absolutely shocking the hell out of me on Saturday, and my family for that matter, on a surprise 50th birthday party 6 weeks late, which threw me way off.
That was a surprise.
It indeed was, Ellie. I did not curse when I walked in, but I probably should have. So she got me good. And if you ever heard our saga of Christmas gifts and trying to get each other, she one-upped me for the next 3 years combined by that one. So thanks to everybody that was there for that. Had a great time on Saturday night and felt very loved. And the last thing I'm going to say is, not for nothing, I don't know if you've fallen down the same rabbit holes I have on Facebook or other social media this last week, but getting to see the reactions of folks from other countries coming to the United States for the World Cup, especially the U.S., and, all parts of the country, the South. I mean, I think now, I've never actually been in a Buc-ee's, I realized, but now realizing brisket's on the board half the time and stuff like that, and just the reactions to things like Golden Corral and, Chili's and things that we take for granted here. The Japanese person that wrote the essay about going to the Mexican restaurant and getting the chips and salsa immediately, and I saying, I have not earned this. And just the way this country has sort of put its best foot forward during this entire thing, especially in preparation for our 250th birthday here as a country. It just really does make your heart get warm, get a little emotional even in some of the things that you hear folks say, because it sounds like for as much as we complain about our media in the U.S. from time to time, it sounds like the media has done an interesting job on us in other countries. And so getting to get the first person point of view coming across this, or across the ocean over to here, it's been really, really inspiring and pride-worthy time for all of us, I think. So I just wanted to point that out and say, God bless our country, and proud to be an American. And can I get a motion that the vouchers be audited and the meeting be adjourned at 7:39 p.m.?
Men's team, U.S. men's team wins. That's all.
Well, they played Thursday night way too late at night.
I know it's late.
Yep.
I'll make the motion.
Trustee Fandesa.
I'll second.
Trustee Bryce Bush. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll see everybody in the month of July.
Bernadette, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I don't think I can go back to normal. My ghetto pens after using them.
Oh, you know what it is? It's like,
You have such good pens and pencils.